Hello, gorgeous souls. Welcome to this video on the Gemini full moon, which is happening on December the 4th. December is a month where we are wrapping up a lot of themes that have emerged throughout this year. You may find they're coming up again, but with a newfound clarity and with a strong calling to decide where you are going next. Who is this new version of you that's calling you forward? And it really is an important choice point of do I stay in some unwanted patterns, dynamics, and experiences, or do I rise into who I really am today, into who that future self is that's been calling you forward? These questions are top of mind this month. There is a lot of joy that we can tap into with the planets moving through Sagittarius as well. This optimism, this joy, this sense of hope for our future and what is possible for us. I also want to take a look more closely today at Mercury, which is the ruler of this full moon. And while it is now direct, it is still in shadow. And it is still in Scorpio at the time of this full moon. And this is significant because it really suggests there is either a decision that it's time to make, a conversation that it's time to have, or a pattern that is emerging that is really wanting your attention. So we'll dive more into all of this. I'm going to share my screen. I invite you to say hi below. And let's have some astrology fun as well. Share with me your sun, your moon, and your rising sign below, or any fun aspects of your chart that you're called to share if you know it more fully. If you don't, then share what you do know. What is your zodiac sign? Or just simply say hi below. So we have the full moon here, 13 degrees of Gemini, opposing the sun at 13 degrees of Sagittarius. This opposition is what makes it a full moon, where it is exact 13-degree mark. So to take this further into your birth chart, you will find where Gemini is, where the 13-degree mark is, and the house placement that it lands in. So the number that it corresponds to is one of the 12 houses of the zodiac. And remembering that we actually have each and every zodiac is an archetypal energy that is a part of who we are. Some of them we have planets in, and that energy is more highlighted as part of your blueprint and your path this lifetime, but they all rule over a certain area of your life. So there is significance there. The Gemini archetype is all about the mind. And I find that Gemini, anybody that has a lot of Gemini energy or a Gemini rising, there's this youthfulness about them. In the highest expression, Gemini really invites us into curiosity. Instead of being really like solid and anchored in what we believe, and not that there isn't power in that, but Gemini teaches us to have curiosity, to explore different viewpoints, to see things and situations and ideas through a new lens and a new perspective. Because Gemini knows that the narratives we run will determine the quality of our life. The quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our life. Our thoughts, and even more than just fleeting thoughts, our belief system and our identity, how we see ourselves. And this is a big part of what's illuminated in this full moon energy is your self-image. And often what follows the phrase, I am the type of person that's your self-image. So for instance, I am the type of person that things always work out for. I am the type of person who is lucky. I am the type of person who people love to pay. I am the type of person who people love to compliment. Or it can go in maybe unwanted ways where we feel like I'm the type of person who's always last, who always has struggles. Like we have these ideas about who we are, and then we look into the world and we collect evidence that tends to strengthen those beliefs and ideas. And that's a really good thing if the ideas are useful and they're serving you and they're helping you bring your vision to life. They're bringing the experiences that you want. It's not useful if it's keeping you in this cycle where where you feel out of your power, where you feel defeated, and where you may have this inner knowing that, like, wait a second, this isn't my truth. Because our belief systems are formed in those first 7 years of our life. We're like little sponges and we're just taking in what's happening in our environment and in our surroundings. And we're listening into the conversations. We're feeling the energy behind those conversations. We are hearing what other people are saying about us, like whether we're quiet or we're loud or we're too hyper or we're not active enough. And we just like take all that in. And at that age, I mean, even first 7 years is key, even younger, but also even a little older. Like we're shaping our views of the world. And at that time, we don't know to question it. We don't know to question what our parents are saying about us, what our teachers are saying about us. We don't stop and say, oh, is this right? Where did that even come from? And we don't understand that it's just their opinion or lens they're looking through, their perception of the world. As an adult, we can though, and we can do that work and we can go back and look at what beliefs are running the show. Where does my identity need an upgrade to match what my higher self already knows to be true, instead of the beliefs that are rooted in scarcity, doubt, fear, or just other people's programming? How can I align more with the truth of my higher self? Is this belief, is this thought useful? Is it serving me? Does it feel expansive and alive in my body? That's how we know as well. Does it feel expansive, exciting, alive, or contractive? So the ruler of this full moon is Mercury. Mercury is at 22 degrees of Scorpio at the time of this full moon. And because it's still in that shadow phase, it's covering territory it has already covered a couple of times. And this is really suggesting there is a deeper pattern here in your life that it is time to see. Where in your What area of your life do you feel like I've been here before? Maybe the people look different, maybe not. Maybe the, external situation looks slightly different, but the pattern behind it feels the same. That's what it's really time to see and to be honest with ourselves about what role we play within that pattern, right? If something continues to repeat in our life, guarantee you're playing a role in it. And this isn't about judgment. This isn't about blame. Going back to that Gemini energy of curiosity, just being curious about, okay, interesting. How am I keeping this dynamic alive? What role am I playing? And in fact, through honesty and compassion, we can alchemize our beliefs and we can create change a lot more quickly than if we are stuck in this energy of judgment or blaming ourselves, blaming other people. We want self-compassion and we want curiosity here. This could also be a conversation that needs to be had. Mercury, the communication planet, maybe a conversation that you're feeling nervous about, maybe a perceived conflict or conflict that you're avoiding, something that you've been holding back that you really want to say. This can even just be finding your voice in a new way, expressing yourself more openly and more freely, and letting go of these old stories around it's not safe to speak my truth. What if people misunderstand? What if people dislike me? And just that energy and thoughts that feel very contractive, letting go of that. And there's like a new liberation here. Now, exactly what this may be for you would depend on other things in your chart and also where the 22-degree mark of Scorpio is. So once again, you would be looking at what house does it fall on. So that 22-degree mark of Scorpio, and this could shine more light into the patterns that have been emerging, the conversations it's time to have, or the last part of this could be a decision that it is time to make. Maybe you've been going back and forth knowing that a change is needed, but you're hesitant. And remember that indecision really is a decision. It's a decision to stay where you are instead of make a move and make a change. So that can be helpful to be aware of as well. It's not that you're not deciding, it's that you're deciding to stay where you are. So this can really prompt you to make that decision because it's moving ahead and it's going to move into Sagittarius here, and it's going to be in like new energy, new territory. So we are also finishing up with this grand water trine that I talked about in our last new moon report. So we have Mercury here, Jupiter. So Mercury, 22 degrees of Scorpio, Jupiter, 24 degrees of Cancer, pointing to Saturn here at 25. So this grand water trine is still in effect, but it is wrapping up now that Mercury is going direct. And as it moves into Sagittarius, it'll be complete. That'll be the end of this grand water trine, which has been all about that rebirth energy, that cleansing energy, emotion surfacing and looking at our relationship to emotion. Sometimes even just identifying how we feel as a whole thing. Like if we have a pattern in our life and these patterns develop for a reason, again, often early on where we felt it wasn't safe to express how we feel, it was safer to just hide it, or we were never taught to feel emotions. We were never taught what those different emotions were. We can carry that throughout our life. And sometimes, like, we don't know how to identify how we are actually feeling about a situation or how an interaction went. Like, we don't even know what that emotion is. And if we don't know what the emotion is, it makes it hard to know how to respond to it and what to do next. So this, grand water trine here is helping us clarify and even maybe not so much clarify. Yes, it could be for some of us, and that's an important key, but even just getting in touch with our feelings, with our emotions, and being able to identify them. It sounds like something that would be so easy, but like honestly, that can be a challenge to really know how we're feeling. And then, even if we do, to know how to then express that in ways that to even maybe just express it, but then to also express it in ways that feel very productive and useful and helpful, right? It's a whole thing. So this grand water trine still active during the full moon. And I would say the other significant thing here, see, there's lots going on in this chart, right? Saturn is now moving direct as well, and it's about to wrap up in Pisces, the very final degrees of the zodiac. And this is bringing lifetimes of karma and soul agreements to completion. You may be feeling that. And this goes back to, who is this new version of me that's emerging, and what path am I now choosing to walk? It's a it's a choice point month. It's a choice point month for sure. I feel like in many ways it's been like a choice point year, just in the sense of, okay, like we're very aware of whether we are walking like a timeline that is just an old version of us, or whether we're committed to this future self, this new version. Not even just our future self, but like who we actually are today. I've said so many times, if we just keep up with who we are today, game changer, game changer. And what I mean by that is like not the patterns of the past, not just replaying the same dynamics, the same conversations, the same energetic loops. Like if we actually just be where we are with the tools we have today, with the knowledge we have today, with the wisdom we have today, if we just kept up with that. And this energy really is encouraging us to do that for sure. I think there was a big relief with Saturn moving direct as well, that we're really feeling amplified at this full moon too. Just this energy of like, okay, the work I've put in is paying off. I'm opening up to blessings. And that's what Saturn really wants for us, is to mature us, to become the type of person that can face whatever comes their way. Not that we're just looking for challenges, but there's this sense of like, I'm certain in who I am and my responses. And it's like this really solid foundation that we can grow from. That's the Saturn energy. I always think of it as like we're building a solid foundation. There is no rush. There's dedication, there's discipline, there's devotion. And from that solid foundation, so many beautiful things will grow and flourish in our life. So we're really looking at that piece. If we haven't quite put in the work, Saturn points that out too, and it may bring this work can bring obstacles or challenges, which I reframe as initiation portals. Who am I called to be to meet this challenge? Who am I called to be to get on the other side of this, to rise to the occasion? That's the Saturn energy. But the piece I really love about this is in Pisces, it's that reminder as well that it's not just about our human strength alone. There's a larger force at play that's working through you. Stay open to magic, stay open to miracles, never close off to that. No, don't close off to that. You know what happens when people close off to that? They lose their spark. They lose hope. They lose joy because they're disconnected from infinite intelligence. We got to stay connected to source. Can be better than we ever planned and expected. We don't have to rely on our human strength alone. Saturn teaches us to do our part. But this Pisces energy teaches us the universe will come in and it'll fill in the gaps. We are loved, we are supported. And look at this Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, finishing up here at the final degrees of Pisces as well, and it's retrograde. So beautiful energies there, North Node there, and this actually brings in the other piece that I want to speak to. So the North Node in Pisces, opposite this, we have the South Node in Virgo, mathematical point, 13 degrees of Virgo, directly opposite the North Node here, and it's squaring the full moon in Gemini. And this is the nodes of destiny. Anytime the North and South node are involved, we know this is karmic work. We know this has to do with our life path, what we are releasing, South node, what we are called to step into, the North node. And how I see this actually relates to Mercury as well. And again, Mercury is so significant here because it is the ruler of this full moon. It rules over Gemini. A lot of this has to do with this Mercury placement where I feel the conversations, the decisions, the mindset we move forward with are going to be key for determining the path we now walk. Yeah, it's going to be key for just determining what that path is. And this is also a call to deeper faith and deeper trust in the universe as well. Are you waiting for the universe to reflect a new reality before you believe in what's really possible? Or are you willing to see it, feel it, be it before it exists? That's what manifestation, co-creation is all about. We're not just reacting to our environment. We know where that gets us. It gets us in the same old loop, the same old patterns, frustrated, stuck. We are being in the new energy of our truth, our vision, the possibilities. We're living it now. And then what happens every single time? New reality is formed, a new energy, because we are sending a new frequency out into the universe that is reflected back to us. So the final thing I want to mention here are these planets in Sagittarius, Mars, Sun, Venus in Sagittarius. This is a fun energy. This is joy. This is optimism. This is believing in miracles again. This is imagine how you would move through today if you just knew, like, I am a child of this universe. I am blessed. Miracle, it's a miracle that I'm here. And you notice miracles all around you, and you know things are working out for you. That's a timeline jump. That would be a complete timeline jump. So I love this Sagittarius energy. Venus there is really fun and playful as well. Lean into that and lean into that fiery joy that is available for us this season. Yeah. All right, that is our full moon in Gemini, and I want to share something really exciting here too. So, I did just wrap up the Black Friday specials, which were amazing. So excited for all of you that jumped in on those. And a few of you asked if I was going to do a special on my 90-minute Astro Akashic reading. So this is where I bring in astrology, I bring in the Akashic records. We work with them both together. And I wasn't going to initially, but then I was feeling into the energy and I'm like, yeah, that actually feels really fun and exciting to open these up as a holiday special for 333. So a special price, and that'll just be for 8 spots, 8 readings. So once those are booked up, or once you purchase that and give it as a gift, you can do that as well. You can gift it, then they'll finish up for now. But I love doing these 90-minute sessions. I love the transformation that happens, the clarity, the activation that comes through. And yeah, this can really be personalized to what you're calling in, what you're ready to heal and release as we wrap up 2025, and really feeling in who is that new version of you that you are becoming, that you're stepping into. And the records and astrology help you really anchor into that, really embody that, feel certainty around it and the joy of it, and just, yeah, just really move from this new space, as well as giving clarity around what that looks like. Astrology is so good for clarity. So I'll attach that link below. And I am sending you all so much love. Enjoy this full moon energy, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.